Hello, Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Eden Zero, Chapter 119. When we last left our heroes, we learned a lot about Shura that I don't really want to learn about. Firstly, that he's another gravity user, supposedly more powerful than, Shiki. But then by the end of the chapter, we see him, and because one girl didn't answer the phone the night before or something, he just straight up murders these two girls he's with. It's not a great scene. But on more positive notes, we see Elsie's ether gear, which is very much in line with Urza and Requipping in Fairy Tail. But it comes specifically from the power of the planet that she is on, which is a really cool concept. And I'm excited for more of that. Also, Rebecca and Homura are still struggling in their fights. So let's jump on into Chapter 119, Homura versus Mora. And our picture here is Clean and Shiki playing a game of... It's kind of like chess-based, maybe? It's not a real-life game, but it looks vaguely inspired by chess, maybe. The first thing that comes to mind is like wizard chess in Harry Potter, but not really. I don't know. Anyway. So we open with Laguna, who is still fighting the drones above the Eden Zero. And Clean, Jean, and Clean, Chris, and Laguna are all on intercoms talking to each other, and Clean says, "We've taken down a lot of drones." And Chris responds, "But the things just keep coming." And Witch comes onto their intercom and says, "It is time to go after the main unit out in space." And Laguna asks her, "Main unit?" And Sister responds, "The giant server that's transmitting the virus." And Witch tells them, "I believe we can handle this area on our own. Wise and Herman are heading for the server. Please back them up." And Moscow, ever the champ, Moskoi, and just gives a little thumbs up. Moscow needs more love, honestly. Like, Moscow force-palming his way into destroying all the drones has done a lot to warm me up to him. Anyway, Wise kind of counters, "We don't need help." And Hermit stops him. "Yes, we do. You can bet there'll be far more drones over there." Laguna responds, "Roger that. I will help." Is Clean. And Chris just asks, "What do you think a mercenary is for?" I mean, they're not exactly paying him. So he's not exactly a great mercenary right now. Anyway, meanwhile, we come back to our title fight, Homura versus Mora, which I think in Mashima tradition, does a fight getting the title of the chapter mean that it ends, right? Is that how it works? Or is it just kind of at a certain point in the chapter? I mean, I guess Shiki versus, or a certain point in the fight, I mean, Shiki versus Orc seems to have ended back in their title chapter. Anyway, so we have the two of them, Homura and Mora, squaring off. Homura is still, drenched in sweat thanks to the heat. And Mora just grins, "Oh-ho, you don't give up." And he sees a piece of tree that has fallen over and burning, and he grabs it with his glue and flings it towards Homura. Homura jumps out of the way, and Mora just laughs, "Shaha!" And he keeps sending it towards her, because I guess it's still connected with the glue. But Homura cuts it in two with her sword. And Mora has this little this kind of shocked face. "Oh-ho?" And the tree slams down behind her as she runs towards Mora, tries to get a sword slice in on him, but he blocks it with his cane. And Homura tells him, "I will not be defeated by one who cannot understand that androids have hearts." And Mora just mocks her. So cheesy! And slings her away with the cane. And have we seen this form before? Because she gets these, Wolverine-looking claws. I think this is new. I don't think it showed up during her fight on Sun Jewel, and I can't think of any other time it would have showed up. Anyway, 5-sword fencing. Tiger form. There's very clearly 6 claws she's got. But okay. Well, your ether gear ain't just a sword. You can use all kinds of bladed weapons. And Homura runs at him. "Tiger 6-claw strike!" Which here she is calling it 6, which is weird that it was 5 sword earlier. But either way, it doesn't do much, because Mora can just turn into glue. And so it just kind of goes right through him. I can turn myself into glue. None of your blades is working on me, innit? Glue shot! And he, like... I can't tell if that's a kick, or if he, like, kicks the air, and then there's, like, a projectile thing, but I think he directly kicks her. Gah! Yeah, he does directly hit her, because, as Homura says, his foot is stuck to me. And then Mora continues, followed by, and he picks his leg up with Homura still on it. Glue axe! And he slams her back down onto the ground. Gah! Come on now, don't go popping off on me that easy. And he turns his foot into, I think he just brings his foot back to himself. I'm not entirely sure. Either way, Homura jumps back, readies her like, Wolverine claws. And then I can't quite tell what... I think is she cutting through the glue that's coming for her, or is the glue hitting her? I can't really make out what's going on in this panel on the top of page 11. Anyway, Mora continues, truth be told, no matter how many I bust up, robots just ain't no fun. They ain't nothing but scrap. Their faces always look the same, don't it? Humans are what I want. If I'm gonna break something, it's gotta be human. The fear and despair on their faces as they die is like the best thrill. Let me see it. Let me see that face. So yeah, in the past, I kind of commented on how Poseidon Nero and his teams seem to be a more lawful evil than what we've seen in the past. But as we're going deeper into Mora and Shura, that seems to be less and less the case. Anyway, he like grabs Homura by the throat. And Homura, stabs him through with her claws, though doesn't really do much good, given that he's made of glue. And yeah, the part where she stabbed just kind of turns into glue around her, and Mora taunts her. I told you that wouldn't work, innit? And Homura, increasingly desperate, how can I defeat him? And Mora just laughs. Yes, that's the face. And Homura just glares at him. Ugh, grr. You said you like it hot, and he leans over her as he starts to, like, melt into her. Presumably with the hot glue she used earlier, and then it goes right for her boobs. Not surprised. Not surprised in the slightest, but it does go for her boobs. And then she starts to scream. And Mora, I honestly do love this imagery, though, of him, like, his face literally melting as he taunts her. Sha-ha-ha-ha-ha-ha. There you go. And that heat won't come off, innit? It's killing you, innit? And Homura seems to gain enough strength to, like, plant her feet down. And she goes for a kick that doesn't seem to do much. Or no, she kicks up the dirt at him. And Mora asks, what do you think you're doing? You're getting dirt in my mouth. And he kind of spits it out. And we see Homura is now... Her claws are, like, digging into the earth. Does dirt do something to glue? Like, is that a thing? That dirt can, like, make glue less adhesive? Because that could be her plan here. Because she's just kicking dirt into Mora's face. With her claws, just constantly going for the dirt. What the? Glue sticks things together, but it does not unstick. And Mora is kind of confused by that, especially if it has been bonded to dirt or sand. So is the plan here that he'll be covered in dirt, and now there's a physical body for her to hit? I'm not sure that would work. Because it seems like she just hit the dirt, and then Mora's body would still kind of be fine underneath the dirt. And Mora asks, and you have a point in it? What's a little dirt? It doesn't hurt me. Don't even itch, don't it? Then I shall try pebbles or wood chips. I told you, it ain't gonna work. You're annoying me so. And Homura just tells him, but everything is stuck to you. And we see Mora is just covered in, like, dirt and branches, and I guess rocks are in there. Maybe he can't move with all the stuff there. Shall I bedazzle you further? I know what you're up to. You're trying to stop me from moving so you can run away. Nice try, too bad. Obviously, my glue body is turned off when I want in it, and yeah, everything just comes right off of him. It did not work in the slightest. which does give us an explanation as to how we can, like, be a solid, how we can walk. Come on, show me the despair in your face. And he looks back at Homura, who's still grinning. You know what I am up to, do you? Warrior Maid, 6 claw attack. Wild Tiger, lightning claw. Oh, because he was no longer glue, if she attacked in that instant, she can get him. It's like an actual working version of the Charon Ogun scene in the Fire Force chapter this week. But I don't know why he couldn't just re-gluify himself as soon as he had gotten everything off. Though, presumably, given that it's Mora, he was too busy taunting to actually do anything. And Mora screams, "Urgh! It seems the instant you ceased to be glue, you were stuck by my blades." Alright, there's a pun. And Mora is just collapsed on the ground, defeated, and Homura tells him, "You do well to look in a mirror later. Then you will see the face you so long to behold." And that's the end of the chapter. Alright, so I was kind of cold on last chapter, thanks to its shoreness. But this chapter was a lot of fun. We opened with a little bit of continuing the Eden Zero plotline with Wise and Hermit and the ex-Draconites heading up to the server to fix the virus. But the crux of the chapter is, of course, the title fight, Homura versus Mora. And honestly, it's pretty good. I like, I had wondered in the past how would this work? How would anyone beat Mora? How did we have, like, maybe Laguna's water powers, but short of Laguna, how do we beat Mora? And this does kind of make sense. She covers him with dirt and shit so that he can't move. And I don't honestly know if her plan was for him to turn the glue body off and then use the finishing move. But I think it's possible that her plan was just freeze him and leave him there. But when that didn't work, she figured, well, if he's solid right now, I can make my move. Which she did, and it defeated him. So yeah, it's a really smart, well thought out plan. And it's just really good. So yeah, honestly, this was just all around a good fight. I think I prefer it to Shiki versus Orc. Shiki versus Orc just kind of seemed like Shiki struggled, went into overdrive and won. There wasn't really much strategy there. Unlike in this fight, where the strategy is really well thought out, and, even multi-layered. As the winning plan, at least to me, seems to be a backup plan. That just worked really, really well. But yeah, beyond that, there's not a whole lot to say, beyond just a really, really good fight. So yeah, maybe next chapter is gonna be Rebecca versus Brittany. And if so, we'll be done with Team Beast. And given that they're the only ones on Foresta right now, we'll have Team Beast, we'll have fixing the server, maybe an LC Justice run-in, and then we're kind of done with Foresta. Foresta is kind of wrapping up in a quicker way than I thought it would be. Though it makes sense if this arc is really just here to set up the rest of the Poseidon Nero saga. But yeah, that's kind of all I have to say for this video. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe, or, do whatever makes you happy, And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!